I'd like to call the Nashville Town Council meeting to order for December the 9th. Would you please stand for our pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, as always, we invite you into our meeting tonight to use your wisdom and your guidance to help us make the best decisions and the right decisions for all the citizens of Nashville. Amen.
Amen.
And the first item on our agenda is oath of office. So, Judge, there she is. And Kate, you're first. I'm good. Good to see you.
Good to see you. You want to place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right. Repeat after me. I, Kate Byrne, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina, and to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established. Powers and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof, that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution and laws of said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge and ability, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office as council member of the town of Nashville. So help me God. Congratulations.
Okay, Mr. Taylor, your turn.
Oh, no, just one copy for you.
Okay, that'd be great.
Congratulations. You want to hold it? Place his left hand on the Bible, raise your right. I, Larry Taylor,
I, Larry Taylor,
do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States,
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers and authorities
and to the constitutional powers and authority
which are or may be established
which are or may be established
for the government thereof,
for the government thereof,
that I will endeavor to support,
that I will endeavor to support,
maintain, and defend the Constitution and laws of said state,
maintain, and the Constitution of the United States,
not inconsistent with the Constitution
not inconsistent with the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge
to the best of my knowledge
and ability,
and abilities,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as council member of the town of
as
Nashville.
council member of the town of Nashville.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations again. And if you could sign, I'll see if this one works. If not, I have a blue one.
Thank you for coming out tonight.
Thanks,
It wanted to quit.
man. At the end.
But that'll work.
Okay. All right, and then I'll stick around after the election.
Thank you, Judge.
Congratulations.
Sit right here. Okay. You can take your mic back.
At this time, I need a motion to open and hold the biannual organization meeting of the Nashville Town Council to appoint the mayor pro tem and make council member liaison assignments to the town's various advisory boards and member organizational boards for the next 2 years.
So move.
Second.
Second. At this time, do I hear a motion for the pro tem?
Mayor, if
Yeah.
I may, it is my recommendation on tonight that we re-elect for Mayor Pro Tem Larry Taylor based off the top vote getting and his leadership paralysis over the last 2 years, his ability to work not only with the council, with you as mayor, as well as with our town manager.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Well, that was easy enough.
Is that okay with you? Is that okay with you?
He doesn't have a choice. And then if you look in our book, you'll see the committees that you serve on, and I just ask that you note those so that we will serve our community by attending these meetings and supporting the organizations that we should as council and mayor. So do I hear a motion to come out of this meeting?
Mayor, again, Pro Tem has to be sworn in too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. He was already pro tem. I thought he was automatically. Okay, go back. I'm sorry.
Would you mind putting your microphone
Oh,
up this
yes.
Me too.
Did you want your wife to come back up?
I guess I can do this on my own.
Okay. You can just hold it in your left hand, raise your right, and repeat after me. I, Larry Taylor,
I, Larry Taylor,
do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States,
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities which are
and authorities which are
or may be established
or may be established
for the government thereof,
for the government thereof,
that I will endeavor to support,
that I will endeavor to support,
maintain,
maintain,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution and laws of said state,
the Constitution and laws of said state,
not inconsistent with the Constitution
not inconsistent with the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and
to
ability,
the best of my knowledge and ability,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my
the
office
duties of my office
as Mayor Pro Tempore
as Mayor Pro Tempore
of the town of
of the
Nashville.
town of Nashville.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Yeah, let's write this one this time.
And you can put your name at the top. Congratulations, both of you.
Thank you
And
so
thanks again.
kindly. We appreciate it. At this time, do I hear a motion to come out of the annual organization meeting for the town of Nashville?
Did no one want to change or anything on their assignment?
Were there any assignments you needed to change? I think everybody looked at those and decided they'd be happy with them.
I just want to make sure.
Okay, thank you. So do I hear a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
At this time, we need to look at our minutes of our town council meeting from Wednesday, November the 19th. Did you find any corrections to those minutes? If there were no corrections, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes from that meeting?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
At this time, it's time for our public comments, and we have 4 people signed up to speak tonight. Remember, you have 5 minutes. You come to the podium, state your name and your address, and you will be given 5 minutes. The first part...
3 minutes.
3 minutes, I'm sorry, I went crazy. Christopher Sandy is first. 3 minutes, Sandy.
I'm Chris Sandy. I own Bill Wright Supply, 720 South Body Street. This is kind of continuation of my last time I spoke of, well, we the people, which, you know, the citizens and the businesses of Nashville make up the town of Nashville. It's important that we focus on that. Things that we do as a city council and town administration is to encourage business, not discourage it. And there's a lot of things going on here lately that's been discouraging some business and not encouraging it. And you're going to hear some of that tonight from others. But a positive note, we're forming the Nashville, North Carolina Oversight Council. It's going to be made up of 9 different council members, people that specialize in different areas of business and organization. I'm excited about that. And so we take nominations on that, and we plan to have every citizen, every business, and as being, you don't have to be, in my case, like I don't live in Nashville, but I spend most of my life and most of my money here in Nashville. It doesn't have a say. So if you own a business here, you can be a part of the council. So we're encouraging people to be there. We've got a phone number that's assigned to it. It's not working right yet, but that was just organized in 252-220-4021. And the nonprofit paperwork is in the works and all that kind of good stuff. So we're excited about that. And our goal is to be an advisory group to bring the community and the town management and the city council closer together. So we're working on that. And I'm just want to say thank you, and we're trying to do something proactive here. Please don't be attacking businesses. We need businesses here. We need to put programs in place to help encourage and support and start businesses. And we got limited properties around here, so we might want to look at limiting how many of the properties we're buying and the space that we have, so it leaves the door open so the businesses can function here. And we need to encourage that, not forget what it takes to make that happen. We the people, that's the citizens and the businesses of this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. The next person is Ollie Silver.
Good evening. Thanks for thank you for giving me a few minutes. I live in 2020 Aspen Court, right down the street off Walmer Road there. And the reason I'm speaking tonight, the last time I came, Mr. Jones and myself, we both live in the community. We had 2 issues. One was we requested to see if we could get some speed limit signs. So I'm here to say thank you to the council and to Chief Shockley. Those signs went up fairly quick after the meeting. So we do have speed limit signs in the neighborhood now. And the other issue we had was it was a area at the entrance that we was trying to see if we could get the county to maintain the grass and the lawns and the bushes at the entrance. So I just wanted to ask, has it been any kind of, I just want to follow up, if we have any information on that as of yet? I think we was going to talk to some gentleman. I know it's wintertime and it's not an issue right now, but I think we was going to talk to some gentleman that do cut the county grass.
Randy, do you remember who they were going to talk with about that?
Yeah, we assigned it to Taiwan.
So somebody's already been assigned?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's going to take care of it.
all right.
Good. And thank you for coming back.
Yeah, well, thank you, guys. I just wanted to let you know that, like I said, the signs went up very promptly, very quick. I almost got a ticket myself when it was okay. So I had told the chief, careful what you ask for. I'll be the main one. But thank you, ma'am, and chief, thank you very much.
And
that's all I
thank
have.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Elaine Robertson. Should she wait until we get to her, which is next on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, wait, Elaine. While we're waiting, I'd like to introduce our HR person is leaving us, but he's been a blessing while he's been with us, and we have a new person coming on board, and we just thank you so much, and we welcome you aboard. And your name is Liliana Urieta. That's correct. You're Liliana Urieta. But anyway, we welcome you and thank you for joining our team. I really feel like we have a great team, and we're thankful that you chose to work with us.
I'm thankful to be here.
The next item on our agenda is appreciation of land donation. Pardon?
I did sign up to speak, but I'm not sure if I got skipped.
You did? Nelson?
Yes, I did.
Forgive me.
That's okay.
Come on up.
We have not met. I'd like to speak after him if I could.
As he signed up.
Well, you did not sign up.
It's a pleasure to meet you because we have not met.
Well, thank you, and I'm so sorry I skipped over
No,
you.
that's okay. I'm used to being skipped. I'm kind of ugly and short in the corner, but
Oh, you are not.
so here we go. Just to reiterate what Mr. Chris Sandy's got going on.
State your name and your address.
Oh, my name is Nelson Smith, 233 Barn Street, LF Smith Customs. We do automotive work, collision repair, full paint jobs, restorations. We like to work on the old stuff, but we fix anything. We're not the fastest, but we do it right. So after plugging myself, right?
I've seen the shop.
Yep.
Does good work.
It's good to see Bradley here. Ollie's one of my customers. Mr. Chris Sandy, we do a lot of business and work together. You know, I love this neighborhood. I love this area. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland originally. And the neighborhood I grew up in was a lot like this when I was a child. So when I found this place about 6 years ago, I fell in love again with being a part of a neighborhood. And, you know, I recently got some maybe undue or whatever violations for some things that I do at my shop, but that'll all be worked out in the wash, or we'll figure it out. I just wanted to come here tonight to say that the people of this community are fantastic. I have some wonderful clientele. I mean, just people that thank me over and over again for doing a good job for them, and it makes me feel great that I can be a part of that. And again, it's a pleasure to meet you because we have not met.
Nice meeting you.
And so I just want to reiterate what Mr. Sandy has said. You know, this is a place for community and business. I don't, you know, when I go down here, I don't eat at McDonald's or Hardee's or any of these places very often. I like to frequent the one of these days and get some of their delicious food and a cocktail. I like the exchange is fantastic, right? Madeline's Flower Shop. Awesome. You know, I'm redoing a car for her father right now. Nothing but fantastic people in this town, and I just feel like we need to make a concerted effort to have the community and the people work with the businesses and with the council and with everything that's going on. I mean, I know they're doing a pool hall across the street. Fantastic. I can't wait to go over there and play a couple games. Maybe I'll see y'all there or something. But I'm sure that, you know, my place probably looks like a wreck sometimes because I do restorations and I do refurbishing. You know, somebody will call me and say, we have a car that's been sitting for 30 years. And I'll say, bring it to me. And then I fix it up. But it takes months, sometimes years. So I just hope that I can get together with, you know, the representatives at the town hall, you know, and just get it all ironed out, worked out, and, you know, it's a forever changing landscape. I move stuff around all the time, and I clean this up, and there's another mess over here. It's literally me and one mechanic and my son that run the place and do all the work. So
Thank you,
I just
sir.
wanted to make my voice heard and let you all know that I appreciate what you do for the town and all the people of the town and how I've been welcomed, because everybody has treated me like they've known me my whole life, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Nelson.
Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
What you do, and it was very nice to meet you for
Thank
the
you.
first time.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll have a cup of coffee sometime.
Okay. The next item on our agenda is the,
Here, one more minute, speak.
he didn't sign up. The next item is the appreciation of land donation. And Elaine wants to speak, but she wanted to speak after you. Do you want to speak now, Elaine, since we're on your topic?
Yeah. I'm Elaine Robertson, 509 Park Court here in Nashville. And Mr. Lansing, Honorable Mayor, Town Council, this is kind of after the fact, but we just signed the deed, so it might be appropriate now to tell you my thoughts. Let's say tonight, but earlier on, Patsy Smith and I wanted to gift a 3/4 acre parcel, plus or minus, to the town of Nashville. And the parcel is located south of Stony Creek behind Hardy's Restaurant. And we're hoping that maybe sometime in the future that parcel could be incorporated into a nature trail along Stony Creek. Patsy and I are offering the donation as a tribute to the Smith and Robertson partnership of Macon and Jimmy from 1964 to 2020, a very long, friendly association. You know them. You do. And Larry, and you've heard
That's
of him.
right.
But Macon and Jimmy contributed so much to Nashville during those years by constructing numerous residential and multifamily homes. And then in 1960, when Macon and I and our 2-month-old daughter Lisa moved to Nashville, we did not imagine that Macon and Jimmy's lives would truly, truly become an American story. And so I thank you for your time, and Patsy and I appreciate you accepting our donation.
Thank you so much. Did you want to say something else?
Yes, I do. At this time, I'd like to say just a few words about that donation. Where the town of Nashville has previously accepted this donation of 0.79 acres of land off of Clark Street along the Stony Creek area from Elaine and Patsy Smith, and Ms. Smith is not here tonight, the Nashville Town Council members would like to extend our deepest appreciation to Ms. Elaine and to Ms. Patsy for the generous donation in the memory of their husbands, Macon and Jimmy. The meaningful gift reflects their shared commitment to the growth and to the future of this town. We also recognize and thank Macon Robertson for his long-standing support of the town of Nashville through his contributions by businesses and rental property. We also, his ongoing investments in our town has played an important role in the development and the progress that we see today. I first met Macon Robertson in 1975 when I first got out of the military at a young age of 22 or 23 years old. Macon built my first house that I have built here in Nashville. And Macon, he was the type of person that could tell you exactly how the floor plan was left in your house, even after he had built it several years down the road. He was that type of builder. When I got the job with the county and I rode around through a bunch of counties, I began to find out everywhere I turn, I see a Macon Robertson sign, a Robertson Realty sign. Macon Robertson built houses from Wake County all the way to the coast of North Carolina. And it's only a few of us up here, maybe the mayor, and I guess Xavier remembers some of it, that remembered Macon when he was around. But you can look at just about every community in Nashville, and somewhere in this community, there's a Macon Robertson house somewhere. In every community. He built houses all through town, in Halifax County, Warren County, Wake County, Dare County. He built houses from here to there. He got hooked up with the USDA back in those early years, and they gave him an opportunity to make those connections. He built houses for people, a lot of new homeowners that didn't have all the deep pockets to build stuff, but Macon was able to do what you had and built my first home and a lot of other first homes here in Nashville. We got several apartment complexes here in Nashville that Macon Robertson built. So he was known to build houses for young individuals, be young or old, and apartments. He found a niche to make everybody in Nashville that needed a place to stay. To this day, I still send people down to Robertson's Realty. They call me and says, "Do you have an apartment to rent?" I said, "No, but check with Robertson Realty. They probably got one." Because they got stuff everywhere. But at this time, I just like for it to be part of the record that the town of Nashville is very appreciative to Robertson, Macon, and Elaine Robertson, Patsy, and Jimmy Smith for the work that they've done for the town of Nashville. Thank you very much.
And I'll have to give you a personal story. They did change the face of Nashville. I grew up here, but I had the honor of going with Elaine. They won a prize for demonstration home that was in a magazine called 1001 Decorations. And so we went to New York and they took us out to a fine restaurant and we had country come to town. I had a grand time. But yes, they did change the face of our town. But I did have an opportunity to experience that, and it was great. And they had an impact on a lot of lives here in Nashville. Thank you so much for your donation. We appreciate it. So at this time, do I hear a motion for us to receive as a council the donation from Elaine and Patsy Smith?
Motion to receive.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it not be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you so very much. Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the Destination Marketing Plan presentation. Corey.
Good evening,
Good
Mayor
evening.
and Council. So after the adoption of the core strategic plan, which is creating outdoor recreation economies, which the NC Department of Commerce completed in March of this year, we were connected with Emily Yeager and her team from East Carolina University for assistance in creating a destination marketing plan and social media toolkit. The goal of this plan is to strategically promote Nashville to attract visitors, drive economic growth, and create a positive, memorable experience. So we've been working with ECU since June on this planning process, and Emily Yeager and her team is here with us tonight to present the recommendations and findings, and I will turn it over to Emily.
Thank you.
All right, and the presentation's being pulled up. Great. Can y'all hear me okay? All right. Good evening, Council. Thank you so much for having us here tonight. It's an honor to be here and also with the rest of the town here tonight. Our team has really just had a blast working with the town for the past 6 months or so. Nashville is a beautiful place. I'm from Franklin County, so I grew up knowing Nash County very well, and it certainly has changed over the years. So our team is just going to present tonight some high-level recommendations that will ultimately come to you in a much longer report that's about 120 pages long. So tonight we're just here to kind of give you the highlights. Okay, so as Coy mentioned, we were approached by Department of Commerce to ask about implementing some of the things that were proposed in that core strategic plan. And so our team came here, if you don't mind going to the next slide. Our team came here for an initial site visit in July of this year. We actually attended a farmer's market and started a survey here in town for both visitors and residents that was offered online, but also held at the farmer's market, while we also did some stakeholder engagement at the rec center while we were here for that initial visit. And then we came back in October and met with stakeholders again within the rec center and did some deep diving into understanding about Nashville's identity, what the town wants to be, what's important to remain authentic and to preserve as a town as you grow, but also what does the future actually look like and what changes might the town want to see as well in terms of its identity and how it's marketed and promoted out beyond its borders. So from our survey, we had 90 responses, and 58% of the responses were residents, but you actually had 42, that means the other 42% were regional visitors. So you had quite a few folks from outside of Nashville coming to that farmer's market and then responding to the survey while it was being promoted online. And the number one characteristic that people loved about Nashville is its small town feel. And so we kept that in mind as we were working on destination marketing strategies and social media marketing strategies. Some other things I just would ask y'all to keep in mind tonight as you hear our recommendations and later on when you receive a fuller report from us is that we definitely thought about capacity. So what is it that's feasible for the town to actually do, but also what's authentic to your character and to what you value here in Nashville. And also, of course, leveraging that core plan that was already put in place by Commerce. Okay, next slide, please.
Okay, so we had the opportunity to do some editing with the logo with the Nashville. So we talked to the stakeholders and we came up with Nashville Naturally and Nashville Connected. So we implemented it on that right side for that logo. But we also wanted to keep the 1780 that you guys have because we want to make sure that you're recognized as Nashville, North Carolina, and not Nashville, Tennessee. So we implemented that as well. And then with the colors too, like green, we wanted to make sure, you know, that it was implemented because you guys have a lot of, is that for the button? Oh. So yeah, for the green, we wanted to like implement that for like the nature. That's why they have the leaves on there as well. Just like little things like that. And then the NC also has blue in it to do that natural. So we wanted to create this branding to show like things on your social media. You know, you can share that throughout the social media pages. And also each community members can use that as like signage, tourism, and like partnerships within that. And we just wanted to make sure Nashville was like a place, like representing a place that's worth experiencing and returning to. And then the next slide.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having us here tonight. Sorry. So with this strategy, this is part of our social media strategy that we created for the town. We believe that social media influencers can be a key part of promoting Nashville. Social media influencers have a lot of benefits going to them. They have usually more genuine, authentic connections with audiences, typically audiences around Eastern North Carolina as well. They also have like established audiences that already have an interest in things such as food, outdoor recreation. So those are a couple of things we considered. We've given you a couple of things in this packet overall to consider with social media influencers. The first one is an influencer contact list. This lists influencers who have between 1,000 and 4,000 followers, so you can build up to that if you would like to, who are connected to North Carolina in a variety of ways. So that is something that is available to you. It also has a list of things that those influencers are interested in that contact list. So they may be interested in food, they may be interested in outdoor recreation, maybe something like outdoor activities, whatever things would appeal to their audiences. We have also given you a template that highlights an outreach thing that you can send to them that says, hey, I am from Nashville, North Carolina. I'm interested in this and this thing. We really like your content. Would you be willing to visit Nashville and see what we have to offer? So we've given you an email template for that as well as a social media direct message template for that. This hopefully goes into our next strategy, which is Nashville After 5. We heard a lot of feedback from people about how there aren't as many, there's a perception that there aren't things going on in Nashville After 5, but we, through our research, found out that there are a lot of things going on in Nashville After 5. People just don't really know about them as much. So we tried to fold that into the strategy as well and emphasize there are things happening in Nashville and there are things to be proud of happening in Nashville. After 5, here are some strategies that we can use for that. So this is our strategy for this.
Oh, wow. You're so tall. I am so very short. Hi, I'm Tiffy Blanchflower. This is going to be like a strange direction. So I teach at ECU, so I want to talk to you naturally, but I have to talk to you guys too. So I'll probably go back and forth. But I worked on the social media marketing team, and there's a lot of different resources in the packet, but I just wanted to highlight some kind of high-level ones that are really going to help Nashville and give a little context behind kind of how we've developed them. So when we had our midpoint meeting, one of the things in a variety of notes and also mentioned was unification, kind of like creating more of a unified and cohesive brand, message, and social media presence across Nashville. And so one of the big things I have is a community social media playbook. It is specialized for Nashville, and that includes 4 kind of key tactics to create a unified social media presence across all of Nashville's social media, regardless of the stakeholder. So it could be a local business, it could be the library, for example, or it could be the Nashville's proper social media site. All these tactics can be used across the variety of platforms to kind of create cohesion. So the first one is to standardize Nashville's hashtag system. It's super simple. Just select 2 hashtags and just promote for everybody to use it. You can kind of think of hashtagging, if we all use the same hashtag over and over again, it's kind of like playing the lottery. right? The more we play, the more everybody uses the same hashtag, the more likely people are to see it. So one of the ones that we came up with was Nashville NC, again, to differentiate you from Nashville, Tennessee, when people Google and look for information. The second tactic is to really push the Facebook and Instagram social media presence. There's a lot of different platforms you can use. Those two are actually still the most popular. So just to kind of give you an idea, 61% and 61% of Facebook users and 60% of Instagram users actually use social media to learn about towns before they visit them. So really tapping into those and having all the Nashville official social media as well as community stakeholders that are in charge of cultural assets, business assets, and natural assets, really using those sites. Another benefit to everybody using the same platform is they can talk to one another, right? So if I'm using Facebook and somebody else is using TikTok, it's kind of hard for me to push messages. So if we can kind of really narrow focus to those two, you can push those messages and create continuity across them. Then the third one is actually someone came up with it in the group during our midpoint discussion, was a social media marketing group. So identifying a community stakeholder that can maybe manage and run a group that meets quarterly of different people that have a social media presence in Nashville that again have maybe a business, maybe they're running the farmers market, the library, just having a meeting and saying like, hey, what are we all doing? Because one of the things we heard over and over again is everybody would post at the same time, and then what happens is nobody really sees the message. It gets diluted. So if you could have a working meeting or some type of shared calendar or communication tool to ensure like, hey, I have this big thing going on for, for example, the Trick or Trunk event, right? And, making sure that whoever's pushing out that message that day, that time they get that day, and then kind of so forth and so on. So everybody isn't pushing messages at the same time. And then the last one is a coordinated kind of across all Nashville accounts. So we've looked at your socials, and we know you have Facebook account, Instagram. And so one of the things we were thinking is if we could get everybody to @mention the actual Nashville social media sites and presence, that's going to really help when people come and want to explore and learn more about Nashville online. Because what would happen is if I owned a business and I say @mention Nashville Facebook page, then it will populate there and it will be connected, and it'll kind of create one big resource of all the different businesses, all the different towns, all the different cool events y'all have going on into one place for people to look at it. Okay, next slide. And then the last thing, and this is like, resources can be scarce, but if you could find a full-time or even a part-time social media marketing manager, this would help a ton. And so looking at ICMA, which is like an international organization for communities and towns and markets, they find that when there's a social media marketer in towns, it can really help because they can help unify that message, right? You all have a lovely problem of everybody loves the community and everybody has a social media presence, but we don't have one person kind of controlling, or not, I wouldn't say controlling, but one person helping kind of assure that narrative. And so by having somebody in charge of a Facebook account and in charge of the Instagram account, they can run that marketing meeting I was just talking about. And they can really bring everybody together so we can celebrate Nashville and we can time things out in a way that isn't kind of competing with one another. Rather, we're supporting one another, right? And so that role would really help. One of the things to note is that also in this, I've provided a job description, how you'd implement this role, who would they report to, and the different things they would actually need to do or fulfill. So it's kind of there to plug and play. Along with that, there's other resources that anybody could use regarding like best social media practices, again, specific to Nashville. So I have a variety of different hashtags provided depending on what's going on, the event, and also different calls to actions that are specific to Nashville. And you'll see it all in the longer packet. So, and that's all I have to share with you. I think I got everything. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Next slide, please. So my name is Rebecca Burnworth, and I also teach at East Carolina University, and we looked at your destination marketing strategies. And after reviewing the core strategic plan and our meeting with the local stakeholders, we looked at Nashville becoming a real destination, shifting from a place to a platform by leveraging its powerful recreation assets. And this includes its future trail plans, Stony Creek, and public spaces. We envision an outdoor community hub with local Wi-Fi, also a social focal point, as well as an outdoor fitness zone for active participation, marketing activities that are connected with each other, and identifying Nashville as a destination for shared experiences. And next 2 slides, please.
We're actually going to move on to the next slide. Sorry. So the next steps, so first of all, there's 8 strategies that you're going to find in the longer report that we will share out with City Council, and of course the whole community is welcome to have access to that as well. But the question is, what do we do first? So the next steps that we're going to recommend in that longer report, one is to establish your social media working group. And I can't emphasize enough that this has larger impacts beyond just are we present on Facebook or Instagram. This is having stakeholders come together and agree upon what is that narrative and vision that you want to share out about the town. Because while the town lives here, there's also a town that lives online that people are seeing, and they're going to decide whether or not they want to come and visit and spend money here based off the perception of what they see online. So having that working group to kind of help, as Tiffany was talking about, sort of having that coordinated effort of what's happening with the social media, having that group is extremely important. And she mentioned the social media and marketing position. Again, that could be part-time, could be someone that's already leveraged. In other communities where we've worked, we've recommended it be the librarian, the head librarian in the town, or we've recommended if you, a public information officer, et cetera, whatever position makes sense that you could currently leverage to lead that group would be incredibly important. Also, launching a unified social media presence. This is related to that first kind of message I just delivered, which is, unifying your hashtags, coordinating postings across towns, and that person or that group can help with this. And in the longer report that we'll provide to y'all, again, everything is plug and play. So I mentioned in the beginning about capacity. Our goal was to give y'all things that literally it was a step-by-step with timelines and resources that would be needed to complete these recommended strategies. And of course, we'd be here along the way with any questions or support that you might need. This is just the beginning of our relationship. And then the third immediate step that could be taken by the town is to roll out signature campaigns. So to be clear, the brands that that Mallory showed you earlier are not intended to replace the really great brand that you have behind you on the wall. They're actually meant just to diversify your marketing efforts to show what Nashville is about. You are, of course, the original Nashville. But when Nashville was chosen to participate in the Department of Commerce's core plan, it was because they saw that y'all had wonderful outdoor recreation assets. Stony Creek, you have wonderful parks, you've got trails. And so the idea was to provide you some branding that could help lean into those assets. And so our recommendation is to utilize some of those branding tools. We will give that to you in a Canva toolkit that you can use to launch other types of campaigns in the town if you would like to market those recreation assets. And then Zeb mentioned the Nashville After 5 program. We also write we write about this in great detail in the longer report. And it's just about how to activate and promote what's happening in Nashville after 5. So a gentleman came up earlier and talked about businesses and the importance of businesses here in Nashville. And absolutely, we know there's things going on. And so actually in that recommended strategy, we talk about how to activate your small businesses in the downtown area, particularly to help with this initiative. Next slide, please. And so, as I mentioned earlier, this was just very high level. We wanted to make sure we reported out to City Council about what we've been doing for the past 6 months. We have a condensed version of the report and a much longer one, as I mentioned earlier, and we expect to have that no later than the middle of January. So, thank you, and we'll take questions if there's time. If
Are there
not,
any
then
questions?
we can move on.
Just no question, but a comment. I want to celebrate this team for the work that they've done. Sounds like you've gone in great detail on research. And one thing that stuck out in my mind was certainly Nashville After 5, and then your creativity around understanding that we still want to remain the original Nashville, the authenticity of Nashville. And apparently you understand that, you comprehend that, and you give us the integrity that we were looking for with that. And so with that, we say thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Ditto.
it, Councilman
Thank you
Harrison.
so much. And thank you for coming out tonight to share the report.
Absolutely.
We
It's an honor to be
appreciate it.
here. Thank y'all.
Thank you very much.
You. At this time, do I hear a recommendation to receive this presentation from Emily Yeager, East Carolina University, on the destination marketing plan she developed in conjunction with the PRCR stakeholder group and staff to promote Nashville to attract visitors, drive economic growth, and create a positive, memorable experience?
Move to accept this presentation.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much. The next item on our agenda is the Red Oak water line. Randy?
Mayor and council, as you know, we received 5 bids for our Red Oak Road water line extension project, and we have Kevin Barnell here with us this evening, our engineer, to present those bids to the council and give a recommendation on an award.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. The town of Nashville held a public bid opening for the Red Oak Road Water Project on November the 20th, 2025, in which 5 bidders were presented their bid proposals. The bids were broken up into a base bid, which included a 12-inch water line from the existing 16-inch on Eastern Avenue to the new UNC Medical Office. The alternate bid was to extend the 12-inch water from the UNC Medical Office to the existing 6-inch water on First Street Extension. This alternate, if chosen, would then provide much-needed water flow and pressure to the Wynwood Indian Trail community by providing a direct loop from Eastern Avenue to First Street Extension. The apparent low bidder is BCS Contractors, LLC, with a base bid of $716,531.64 and an alternate bid of $823,459.00. I would like to make town council aware that the current contract carries a combined rock contingency of approximately $413,000 in the event we did hit rock in the bore. So there's I hate to call it extra, but there is a contingency of around $413,000 in the bid for that. There should be some rock expected based on the geotechnical report, but not likely to the extent of $413,000. However, the final amount will not be known until the actual boring of the water line is complete. Stocks Engineering has verified that BCS Contractors LLC has an unlimited North Carolina Contractors License Number 53835 and is in good standing. Stocks Engineering has also verified that BCS Contractors met the requirements of a good faith effort to utilize minority and historically underutilized businesses. Stocks Engineering therefore recommends that the Nashville Town Council enter into a contract with BCS Contractors LLC in the amount of $716,531.64 if the base bid is chosen, and $1,539,990.64 if the base bid and alternates are chosen. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Kevin, where is this company located?
Nashville, North Carolina.
That's what here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I was thinking.
They've done work for us before, right?
They have.
I thought they
Many
had.
times.
Do I hear a recommendation to approve Resolution 2025-36, awarding a construction contract to BCS Contractors in the amount of $1,539,990 for the Red Oak Road Water Lane Extension Project?
I make that motion. I do just want to note for the record that we have the $11 million in our water and sewer fund, so that's exactly where it would be coming from, not our general fund balance. And I think it's just a smart thing to do at this time. But I make that motion.
We also have a golden leaf.
All right.
Yeah.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
And thank you so much, Kevin. We
And I do
appreciate
have
it.
a question, Mayor, if I may. Kevin, the anticipation that we may run into rock, that's gonna be on the base bid side, or do we anticipate it on the alternate?
The $413,000 that I identified is in both the base bid and the alternate bid. There's around $215,000 that we carried in the base bid, and then an additional, I'm going to do the math wrong now, but an additional $190,000 that we carried in the alternate bid. And so that's how we come up with the 413.
So you got.
I have it in both.
A possibility we got them on both.
That's right. So we had a geotechnical report done, and it was less than we thought the rock was going to be, but there is some locations that we will have rock. So hopefully we'll go above them based on the reports, but I wanted to carry it, make sure that we're approved before we get there and realize we're hitting it. So
it's good that we've got it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kevin. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
The next item on our agenda is the Regency Sewer Extension Project. Randy?
Mayor, before you get to that, part of this project also is to adopt a project construction ordinance, which is the next document in your package, page 54. What this does is, if the project goes between this fiscal year and carries over to next fiscal year, we don't have to rebudget for it. We've already done that with the adoption of this ordinance.
So I need to receive that. We need to receive that, right?
It's in the packet.
I see it.
So make a motion to adopt it? Is that
Yeah.
what we should do?
Do I hear a motion to receive the engineer's report on the Essex Road and Regency Estate sewer extension projects and authorize the letting of bids to area sewer contractors for the construction of the project?
Sorry.
So move.
Hold on.
I think we're going
We
ahead.
have to backtrack. I make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2025-33, the capital project ordinance.
All those in favor?
I second it.
Okay, next.
Yes. And
So you second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay, Randy, next.
So next is, we have Mike Tolson with Matt Gann Associates, another one of our town engineers. He's completed the design of the Essex Road and Regency Estate Sanitary Sewer Extension projects, which we've received NCDEQ permission to construct and also funding for their construction. And Mike is here with us this evening to review those construction plans, the project schedule, and the projected project cost estimates with the council.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Regency first, is that what we're doing?
Yes.
So Regency, our plan for that is to put a small grinder pump station in on the back of the far right corner of that subdivision now to provide gravity sewer down to the pump station and a small 700-foot extension down to the manhole, to a manhole that's existing in the system to take that flow to the existing Regency lift station. The way the topography is in that subdivision, and when it was sewered back in the 80s, it just did not lend itself to serve those 20 or 30 lots with gravity sewer, so they were kind of left out and allowed to do septic fields, which have since and over time been failing, and this will allow them a gravity solution that will become a part of the municipal system and can be, a little bit more reliable and not having those failed systems on a routine basis. So we've gotten the drawings sent to the state for what is DWI, the funding agency, to approve. Applications for permits and everything have been submitted. We are awaiting final approval from DWI, who is the funding agency. And barring anything that we haven't been told so far, we should, I think we have approval coming. I spoke to the gentleman from DWI last week about it, and he said that he thought it was just he was about to write those approval letters for us. I just have not seen them in my hands yet, but I hope to have those in the next few days, and then we can go out to let it for bid, to get bids in and get proposals for doing that work. So, that is Regency, and Regency is a fairly straightforward. It'll just be a small gravity extensions and everything else. It should be relatively straightforward, but, we don't anticipate rock or any of those sorts of things because we're not putting very deep sewer in or any of those sorts of things. But however, we'll bid in some contingency for those types of things when we put it on the street for bids, and we'll have a report back to you when we get the proposals in and recommend a contract.
Thank you. Do I hear a recommendation to receive this report on the sewer extension project?
So I have a question. So we're receiving it, but then it says we're also approving letting for bids. So do we need to wait until we get this letter, or do we need to, is there like a and/or? Or is there?
So the last word I got from the state, which was last Wednesday when I spoke to the gentleman, was that he was going to sit that afternoon and hopefully have his review with his supervisor to go ahead and approve it. The approval is really just a paper stamp at this point. We've gotten the permit, the plans have been approved. We're ready to go out for bid, and we need to get bids anyway. This won't keep us from being able to get pricing. What we'll have to do then is submit all of the bids we get to the state for them to approve us to award it to a contractor. So it's just steps in the process that we've got to get done. And with the bidding climate like it is right now, I would bid sooner rather than later, just so we can get prices before there are increases in, first of the year, or those sorts of things. Maybe someone can lock in prices for us. The bottom line is I don't see any reason to not bid it and go ahead and have them hold pricing for 60 to 90 days so that we can then have everything else come in and be done. I don't anticipate it being any problem whatsoever, or certainly on the Regency job.
So
What about the other project?
So on the Essex Road project, we had a bit of a hiccup when it came to the development that the town is enjoying from the Cardinal Woods subdivision that was put in behind Essex Road. And so we had we had applied for that project based on the merit that we were going to improve the SCADA on the existing lift station. And Cardinal Woods came through and took that requirement away from us because they abandoned that lift station and put one in their own. And we were hoping just to pass that on along and put SCADA on the Cardinal Woods and a discharge port and everything that we were planning to put on Surrey Road lift station. We were just going to do it on Cardinal Woods, but that subdivision pump station got put in with all of those improvements because it's a modern, you would require that on a modern one. And so we had some back and forth. The state told us that when they were reviewing our final plans and specs, that it endangered us of losing the funding for that project because we were on the line with, we had claimed 3 priority points, we had gotten them, we had scored well enough to get the funding, and the bottom line is losing those 3 priority points put us in jeopardy of not scoring high enough to get the priority points or not get the funding. A phone call last Wednesday with the same gentleman, explaining to him what it was we were attempting to do, and in discussions with Randy and with Public Works staff, we asked if we could substitute a different type of equipment purchase instead of SCADA, buying a bypass pump that is much needed in the town for moving around to the different stations, being portable and allowing you guys to work on stations when you need repairs or maintenance or something, something unforeseen happens, which I think it was a very good recommendation. We submitted that to the state. They agreed to it in principle, and we're working out the details on it. And my call last Wednesday was, hey, I sent you the details you asked for. You asked for a few more details, but I can't guess the future. Can you tell me what it is you're looking for in addition to it? And he assured me that he was going to speak to a supervisor and hopefully have that squared away. I reached out to him before I came here this afternoon. I have not been able to reach him. I did send an email, and hopefully I'll have something updated on that as well. That project, again, same boat. I think we should bid it. The bids are just pricing it. It's not an additional cost to have it bid or any of those things, and you'll know what that would cost. But as far as the funding being pulled, I don't think we're in danger of that realistically, because we haven't really started the arguing yet of, hey, we've gone through the process of doing a preliminary engineering report. We've designed drawings, plans and drawings. The town has incurred expense that is, expected to be paid for as part of this. You've gone forward in good faith, expecting to have it. And then all of a sudden at the last hour, something that was not on the books when we applied for the money has now made it so that, you're saying we're not qualified for it. So we haven't had to have those conversations and arguments with anybody above the people that I've been dealing with yet. And I think from the attitude and the general experience I've got with the DWI, I think we'll be able to work out that it won't be a problem with the funding, and we may just remove that SCADA item as a line item in the budget. But with that said, we may be able to, the bypass pump that we're talking about buying is a much more expensive line item, and we'll may be requesting additional funds for them to be able to put a bypass pump in. So we'll see, but the bid and the budget and the additional funds is just a part of the process that if we get prices and we know what we need, and if it comes in under budget, over budget, we'll know how much we have to work with. And you get some economies of scale of bidding 2 sewer extension projects at the same time. You may have a contractor that comes in and bids both, gives you a better price for both of them. It's a good time to bid them both, and they can kind of schedule their time around it. But that's certainly the town's discretion. That's just my opinion as your engineer trying to get these 2 projects built as efficiently as we can. So,
Yeah, I have a
Yes.
question. When we removed the lift station from Surrey Drive, we tied that system into Cardinal Woods.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But we lost points on it because that lift station had been removed.
So
now with the bypass pump that we have, you think we'll get the points back? But will we have to make that bypass pump a stationary pump?
No, sir. No, sir. The points that we lost were redundancy and resiliency points, which are, there's 3 points that get awarded that you could claim, that we claimed in our application for. We were putting SCADA, we were upgrading SCADA and putting what was called a bypass port on that station, on the Surrey Road pump station. It didn't have, it needed new SCADA, and it didn't have a bypass port. Because
explain SCADA to me. What
SCADA
are we
is I'm going to get the, I can't remember what the S stands for, serial data acquisition. It's basically a way to monitor your stations, so that when they pitch alarms and everything else, you get notified of it. There's normally a telephone dialer, or most of them have been moved to like cellular communications and web-based type monitoring systems. But we were going to upgrade that. That's a form of resiliency, giving you the additional monitoring and checking so that you don't have to have a person there to cut a switch off or those sorts of things. And then the bypass port allows for you to hook up a bypass pump when you do need it, and so that you can keep the station in operation, when you have both pumps pulled. And we have situations where you would need to work on both pumps at the same time, or one's failed and one has to be pulled or whatever. And so you need that bypass port, and it's just a standard feature on new pump stations, if you will, that we would put in today's time. And it only has recently become a standard feature. So Surrey was built without one, and so we were going to include that as part of this so we could have that redundancy. And we put that application in before Cardinal Woods had ever even brought their first preliminary to you, so we didn't know they were coming through and doing what they were doing. The application was, in good faith, put in saying we're going to do this and those sorts of things. And so I think the argument can be made that when we go and have to, if we have to argue this any further, that hey, we're doing this, but we need the bypass pump because we've shown that we need it in different areas of town because of pump failures and aging system parts. So the thing that we were applying for was going to be these redundancy and resiliency points, and the fact that a bypass pump that is needed on the whole system in town and will still serve the project area that we've got if we take it over to the Cardinal Woods pump station, since that's where all that sewer is flowing, still meets the letter of the intent of those points. And so it's not a far reach for them to say, okay, you've jumped through that hoops, and so we'll let you keep those 3 points, because we are 2 years, 3 years into applying for this money, and you guys have,
Right.
you've gone forward in quite a bit of good faith and incurred expenses that, you would want to be reimbursed for as part of the grant, which was always the intention. So I feel confident that we can talk them into this scenario. It just may be that the bypass pump is one of the things that may put us over budget, but is still a well-needed thing that we can go back for and ask for the additional funds for. So I hope that answered your question.
Any other questions?
Just one last, I think to Bill's point, putting them out for bid does not bind us to anything. This is just
No.
information gathering, and so if the grants fall through, we're still okay.
That's exactly right. We typically, when we put them out, we require in each bid that they'll hold bid prices for 60, 45, 90 days, whatever we stipulate in that. We'll price it, and I expect to have some sort of determination in the next 2 weeks on both projects. But in the case that we get it bid, it'll be 30 days before we can open bids to begin with, because we've got to advertise it first and put it in public domain. So we're talking, by the time this is all done, 120 days probably, if we have them hold bids for 90 days, to be able to, begin process. I feel like we'll have everything done in short order well before that. It's just going to take getting people on the phone, having them sit in a room and tell us, yes, no, this is right, we're okay with this kind of thing. So I still feel like there's the benefit in bidding it now and having it held and build it. And I think we'll still be back here in 2 months, ready to award and ready to go forward.
How long do you anticipate us having to extend this out now? Because I'm quite sure I get questions from the residents out there on Essex Road. It's how soon are we going to see some progress being done? How soon can we hit the ground and start working?
Well, if we bid it, if we bid it and we get our authority to award, which is, if I bid it, it'll be 30 to 60 days before I can get bids back in. I got to advertise it for 30.
Right.
We'll open, and then I'll have to hit your next meeting to make a recommendation of award, just like Kevin was just up here doing. And then we'll apply to the state for what they call their authority to award, which is just them saying, okay, you've met all the requirements. You now can enter into a contract with this company. And what will wind up happening, that may take anywhere from another 2 weeks to another 3 to 4 weeks, just depending on how busy they are at the state. But I anticipate being able to start construction on this kind of project, especially at the stage we're at, in April, May of this year, and doing the digging in the warmer months. It's a short project. Both of them technically are. The lift station in Regency will probably be a little bit longer in tooth to order the parts and pumps that need to come in, but the gravity work and everything else to get people done and tying in pumps, septic tanks and abandoning septic tanks and things like that, or that will be some cleanup work that may linger on for a few months afterward, because we'll coordinate all that with the homeowner that's living there so as not to disrupt their life so hard. But that will take some, just some back and forth coordination. But I see it being done by, October of next year, all in, all done for the project side of things, depending on weather, and barring any bad weather coming in, or, heavy winter. We should have started construction by the time winter's over anyways.
All right.
Thank you so kindly. We
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
you
you.
coming out tonight. So I guess we need to, first of all, receive the engineer's report on Essex Road and Regency Estate on page 55 in your handouts. Project, and authorize the letting of bids to area sewer contractor for the construction of the projects. Do I hear a motion on that one?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
And the second recommendation is to approve Resolution 2025-35, accepting $984,446 state reserve grant for the construction of the Regency Estate Sewer Extension Improvement Project for the North Carolina Department of Environment and Natural Resources.
And if that seems familiar, I'm certain we did this back in February.
Isn't this the Don Davis money?
No.
No?
This is NCDEQ, but we got notified last week by one of the NCDEQ staff people, we don't have your signed contract on the funding award. I said, okay, well, I wasn't going to argue with them. Like Mike said, we can save that for later, but we're just another resolution authorizing acceptance of that funding letter, and we'll forward it all on and continue moving forward.
So do I hear a motion on that resolution?
For the second time, we approve, to go forward with it.
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you so kindly.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is the Nashville Junction parking lot. Randy?
So pursuant to Section 15 of the Nashville Junction donation agreement between the town and Hurd LLC, the town has completed the construction of the parking lot, the amphitheater stage, the grassy audience area, and the on-site storm sewer water retention facilities for the Nashville Junction. And Hurd LLC will, according to that agreement, convey ownership of Lot 1 of the Nashville Junction to the town. So we have the parking lot and the grassy area and the stormwater, all the things. We had an inducement agreement with Hurt to do the Nashville Junction. We've done ours, he's done his. We're to the point now where the town can authorize acceptance of the deed to Lot 1 of the Nashville Junction per our donation agreement with Hurt. And we do have Michael with us here this evening, and I think he would like to speak a few words in praise of the public-private partnership that we undertook with him that resulted in this development coming to fruition.
Okay, Michael?
How y'all doing?
Good.
No, just kind of recapping and thinking about everything that we've gone through and how we got to this point. I think what we've done is something that could be emulated and you know, something other communities should take note of, what a public-private partnership looks like. You know, a lot of people talk about it, but few times does it actually get implemented and executed. And so, you know, just from the economic development that this is going to create, from the farmer's market to putting the building on the National Registry and just all the things that's been involved in it. Last time I counted, we're sitting at around 30 jobs that's been created. We've actually got 15 leases, including the town of Nashville. And so, you know, those are 13 businesses or 14 businesses and then the farmer's market. And when these units are finished, we've actually got a restaurant that's under construction now. We've got a permit pulled for a new deli that's coming. We've got a few things that's happening in Unit C and D, and they'll be finished. Hopefully, we'll have the CO on those next week. And so, you know, we're looking at 50 jobs that's going to be created, which is part of what we talked about when we wanted to do this building, is to restore a historical landmark in the community, create jobs. And it's going to have an appraised value of somewhere around $4.5 million when it's done, just the building. And you know, it just kind of segue in what we're going to try to do across the street, starting in 26 calendar year. We're going to get started on that apartment complex that we said we would. And so that's really exciting. That's probably going to be sometime in the second quarter, first of the third quarter, but we're going to get started and we're going to build it out, starting right there at the corner where that currently Nashville landscapes and mulch is going to be. That's actually where we're going to get started at. And I mean, that's just going to improve the entire community. It's going to create tax revenue, commerce, and, you know, a lot of benefits to the community, which is what a public-private partnership is supposed to look like. When I was in the construction industry in 2008, when they did the stimulus package, another thing that they counted on was jobs created through, they called it temp jobs, but it was still jobs created. And I mean, we've got thousands of jobs that's going to be created based off of that from all the subcontractors that actually came out there and worked and did things as well. And so I think it could be a poster child in how communities should work with the public in the private, you know, sector as well. So I'm just really excited we've got all the units leased up. We've got signed contracts on all of them. Most of them are 5-year leases or more. And, you know, we're going to be here for a long time. So I'm excited about that Nashville After 5 that I heard, because the restaurant is going to be a major anchor tenant for us. And they're going to be very excited. I think it's going to be something that the town of Nashville has been looking for a while. So just really excited about it and just very thankful. And so, yeah, now it's time to fulfill our duty and what we said we would do, and that's transfer this over to the town.
Thank you so much, and I think you're right. It's going to be a real drawing card for our town, and we appreciate you working together with the town so very much.
When do you anticipate the outdoor coffee shop being completed?
Outdoor coffee shop, they're putting pressure on me. They want me to have it finished next week. Weather kind of messing me up a little bit. You know, we had an underground service put in last week from Duke Progress. So we actually got to clean that up before Friday's event, actually. So I got some stone dropping out there. But in the next week or two, it'll be COs finalized. And then I think they're going to do a soft opening. They'll be open for the Brazel Family Farms egg drop this year. And then they're going to do their actual grand opening, I think, on the 15th of January. And so that's going to be a big deal for the community as well.
You did say you could put some gravel out there?
Yeah, yes, sir. We got to
I
clean
rode
it.
through there today, and you got my tires all over.
Yeah. I ain't going to throw a power company under the bus, but, you know, they didn't backfill it with like material, let's just say that.
They did not.
No, sir.
Well, it's exciting, and I'm just very grateful that we have this as part of our town. I appreciate all you've done to make it happen.
Well, and it's really cool, too, because, you know, Brazel wouldn't have been there doing the egg drop if we didn't have that junction set up.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, this is going to segue into a lot of things.
And I think this is just the beginning, Michael, of good things here in the town.
Well, I'm thankful for all the council that believed us in the beginning. A lot of y'all are up here. And shout out to Lynn Hobbs and obviously Bill and Mr. Harrison has been a huge supporter of what we're trying to do too, so we're very thankful of it. And just happy that we could do what we said we were going to do.
And thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, do I hear a motion recommendation to authorize the acceptance of the deed of Lot 1 of Nashville Junction from Hart LLC to the town of Nashville?
I have a question, Mr. Mayor. Can we include the triangle now, or do we need to wait on that? We talked about that a couple times.
What Bill is talking about is Michael had previously agreed to give to the town kind of a stranded piece of property by the fuel dock that when the Cross Street and Western Avenue were aligned, some land he owns now is not part of the rest of his land.
That little island is out there back in front of us. Give us that.
We just got to get the deed prepared. I've actually got a meeting with my attorney tomorrow, so we got the deed ready to close on this. I think the town's attorneys and our attorneys were critiquing a few things in the documentation. But, I mean, we just got to get the deed ready to go. Okay. So, I mean, that's next on the docket. This was just important to make sure we got this done this calendar year. I could have told them to do it at the same time, honestly. It slipped my mind. Okay. But it's done. I mean, we're going to do it.
Next 30, 60 days, we can do it.
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
On the January agenda.
Yeah. Did I hear a motion to receive this lot from Hart LLC to the town of Nashville?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
The next item on our agenda is the Nashville ABC Store Street.
I think it's the other one.
Page 100.
Missed one, man.
Did I miss one?
You did.
Cook Road.
Have. Okay, you're right.
Bailey.
Bailey Commerce Park Development Agreement.
So, Mayor and Council, TTL Development LLC, which is Travis Phelps and Tom Brindley, they want to develop the south 17 plus acres of the town's land in West Nashville Commerce Park along Cook Road. And their site plan that they had submitted is in that development agreement. It's Exhibit 6, which I believe is page, I'm not sure what page it is.
97.
Thank you, Bill. Into 1.5 to 2 acre commercial industrial lots and build 8,000 to 10,000 square foot shell buildings on them. They propose to do that in 3 phases. The attached development agreement between the town and TTL Development is for phase 1, and they're calling it the Bailey Commerce Park. Per the agreement, the town will convey the 4.5 acres of phase 1 out of that 17 plus acres to TTL Development in exchange for TTL Development constructing 2 shell buildings, extending the water and sewer mains into that south 17 acres, and constructing the first segment of a roadway that will access the property from Cook Road down to the end to a cul-de-sac. That's the scope of Phase 1. So attached is the development agreement. We have on the agenda tonight to hold a public hearing on that development agreement, after which that is closed. We can talk more in detail about the development agreement itself. Travis Phelps and Tom Brandley are okay with it. I think some of you probably have a few tweaks you want to make to it, which would bring it back then for execution at one of our January council meetings. But at this time, Mayor, if you wouldn't mind opening a public hearing on this development agreement.
Do I hear a motion for us to go into a public hearing upon this agreement with the Bailey, for the Bailey Commercial Park?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
At this time, is there anyone in the audience that has any comments to be made? I can't see. Do you see anyone?
Being no comments, move to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
So I think in Exhibit 1, which is the project scope, I got some notes from a couple of you today when you called me about that, and I have already drafted some changes there to give it a little more definition and clarification to make sure that when the street is constructed, it goes from Cook Road to the south property line of Lot 2, which will be created in Phase 1, and then that the rest of the roadway be rough graded all the way down to Lot number 10, which is where the joint stormwater retention area for the entire 5-lot development is going to be. I also added in there that what similar language for phase 2 and 3 that says how far the street will be extended each time, and that'll be in a hard surface. Exhibit 2, when we do parcel off the first phase of this, we will get a legal description for that. The one that I have in there right now is the legal description for the 17 acres. And we're not conveying the full 17 acres for Phase 1. So that'll come out, and that'll be replaced by a much shorter legal description for lots 1, 2, and 10. And that's what will be conveyed. But that first plat will also lay in the street right-of-way from Cook Road down to the south end of the property, which will be maintained. The town will maintain ownership of that, but they're under agreement with this development agreement to build a road to our standards, this much rock and base and 2 inches of asphalt, certain width. All that is contained in this development agreement. And then Exhibit 3, again, I took some notes from some of the discussion I had with a couple of you today, and I've added 3 more milestones in there. Statutorily, in exchange for the gift of the land, they have 5 full years under statute to build those 2 shell buildings and extend the infrastructure that's in Phase 1 of this. But I'm going to put some additional deadlines in here that they're obviously going to build the 2 shell buildings just as soon as the infrastructure is in to support them. But they didn't want to be held responsible for actually creating those until the 5 years. But we'll put milestones in here that they will shoot for a much sooner time frame than constructing shell building 1 and getting that leased or sold, and then constructing shell building number 2 and getting that leased or sold before the December 31st, 30/31 deadline.
Okay. So are you going to bring this back to us in January with those corrections, did you
Yes.
say? So what do we need to do to this now? Just
Well, there's a few more that I just wanted to talk
just
about.
what we did?
Okay.
There's
That's
a
all
few
we
more
need.
that I
Okay.
wanted to just put out there.
And I've got some things I want to let you know too.
Okay.
The first thing that threw me is Bailey Commerce Park in Nashville's park. How's that gonna work?
It's the
It's
name
our
they put
park.
on it.
Hey, listen, I just say praise the Lord, we're getting something out there. I don't care
it's
what
spelled
Middlesex,
differently. It's spelled
Bailey,
It is
or-
spelled
It's spelled
differently.
different.
Yeah.
We're putting
If it's
the
a
park inside
name,
the
maybe,
park, which looks like a rent.
I mean, that may be negotiable, Larry.
I'll get with you tomorrow.
Yeah, big deal.
I'll get with you tomorrow. I've got that and a few more other things I need some clarification on,
Do you want to finish yours up?
but not at this time.
You don't want to finish yours, whatever you need clarification on?
I'll do it in his office.
Okay.
You go ahead.
So I think just generally speaking, we need to clear up the acres because it's confusing. We go back and forth between conveying all 17 of the acres and then talking about the phases. And then there's a sentence in here that should have probably been in red where we say probably need the legal description here for new lots and streets right of way that were created by this agreement. So obviously that needs to be cleaned up
Yes.
and taken out. 6 years is what we're saying if this is executed December of 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
31.
Right, so we might want to back off a year if that's the requirement. I think, so as far as seeing progress, you're saying they have the full 5 years to do that, so we can't have benchmarks for completion? Like if 2 years from now, we would like to see at least something happening, and then another 2 years, we'd like to see something more happening, can we have, how it's written right now, especially in, on page 5, paragraph 2, it says the company will begin construction of the project improvements no later than 1 year after obtaining required permits for the development. So it doesn't even say anything about like from execution of this contract or from time of applying for the permits. So in reality, it could be 2030 and that's when they make their application for the permits. So nothing could happen for all of that time. And then obviously it wouldn't be completed by that time. So I would like to have some hard and fast deadlines for things being met, just so we can see some progress, and realistic ones. I don't want to, put any undue burden on, because again, I'm excited that this is happening as well. But just to make sure that we don't have a situation, which we have had in the past, where someone says they're going to do something and then not move, and then 2 years later, we're taking the property back and then
Right,
remarketing it again. So then, the roadway, I think we addressed that where, just in case the company does not want to go forward with Phase 2 and Phase 3, I just think we need to have very clear language in there that we have access and ownership of whatever roadway is built and access to whatever retention pond is built, so that if they don't want to do Phase 2 and 3, we can get into it to convey it to someone else who will do Phase 2 and 3.
Okay,
And there's no benchmarks for phase 2 and 3? I missed that if there is.
Or maybe that happens once we execute.
This happened.
well, it's
Phase
on,
one's done.
this development agreement is for Phase 1.
Right.
When we're ready with Phase 2, then we'll have another similar agreement
Right.
with the actual completion dates for Phase 2 in. They didn't want to be held responsible for the entire development in the first 5 years. That's why they wanted to phase it, knowing they had 5 years to perform statutorily for each phase.
But they're locking up, the way I read it, they're locking up that, we give them 4.5 acres. That leaves about 13 acres left, and we can't do anything with that until for that 5 years, right?
Yeah, this
Right.
agreement does give them the exclusive option for the next 2 phases.
So what if they?
For 5 years from execution of the agreement.
Yes.
Then for 5 years go by and they haven't completed their part of what they said, then we may have lost customers that wanted the other 13 acres.
Where are they?
It's possible, but we've had 13 years of nothing
Right,
so far.
right. And I think they, after meeting with them, I really truly believe in my heart they're people of the word. Don't you, Randy?
Yeah.
After we met with them.
Well, maybe I would hope so, but it's hard, ain't what to think they are sometimes. But
Well,
anyway.
we've been sitting board for 13 years.
Okay, all right.
There's obviously a degree of trust and faith
When you do
associated
this,
with this agreement.
exactly.
All right.
Next item on our agenda is Nashville ABC Store Street. Randy.
So the Nashville ABC store has purchased land from 3MR Limited Partnership for a building and parking lot addition to the ABC store at 1206 Eastern Avenue. The 6,400 square foot addition will be constructed onto the store on the north side, and the parking lot will be enlarged with an additional 14 parking spaces. And let me see if I can pull that up quick for everybody to see. So the ABC store also wants to improve vehicle access to the store by constructing a second street access off North East Point Avenue, which is by Domino's at the cul-de-sac. And the store will construct that street to the town's specifications and standards with width, asphalt surface, curb and gutter, and storm sewer drainage. And in support of this improved access, 3MR Limited Partnership is donating the land, the right-of-way, for the new street to the town. And we have attached to the ABC store's site plan the letter of donation from 3MR Limited Partnership. So for the council's consideration this evening is to accept the donation of 0.275 acres from 3MR Limited Partnership for the second street access to the ABC store. And the ABC store is going to be building the street. They will construct the street as part of their project.
Do I hear a motion to accept the donation of the 0.275 acres of land?
Move to accept.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
The next item on our agenda, Trey, Human Resources Personnel Policy Revisions.
Oh, when you remember your average height. Good evening, Mayor, Council. The Human Resources Department is proposing the following updates and revisions be made to the personnel policy. There are not any major policy changes, but these recommendations clean up the language of the personnel policy manual, reflecting current employee position names, corrects any section references that were incorrect due to previous changes, corrects grammatical issues, adds clarification, and removes any outdated and unnecessary information. And then in addition to any proposed changes, we'll have to change the table of contents and page numbers as well. I did list them out for you as a SparkNotes version, so you didn't have to flip through the personnel policy manual. I will gladly answer any questions you may have. Or
Any questions for Trey?
I just want to say it's the hardest working man to give a 2-week notice I've ever seen.
Trey, you really have been a blessing
Thank
to
you,
this
ma'am.
organization, and we know that you're going where you're led.
Amen.
And we just appreciate what you've done for our town, and it will not be forgotten.
thank you so much. I've really enjoyed it. Thank y'all for all y'all done.
It's just a shame that we've gone this far with so many corrections that you've made. You made us look like we didn't know what the heck we were doing.
Well, now I would tell you some of these were I inherited, so it was low-hanging fruit, but I wanted to make sure I passed it off to Lily as clean as I could. So
You've done a great job, and we
You
appreciate
have.
it.
We really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Leaving
Thanks so
us
much.
way better than you found us.
I
Yes, sir.
know you are, you really are. So do I hear a motion to approve the recommended changes to the town's personnel policy?
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
thank
The
you.
next item
Thanks,
on
sir.
our agenda is the PRC, or Advisory Board appointments.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
The Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Resources Advisory Board has 2 members with terms expiring at the end of December. Barbie Cruz and Mary Richardson will complete their first 2-year term and are willing and eligible to serve another term on the advisory board. Mary Richardson is here with us tonight, if you want to give us a wave. I think probably all of you know Mary. Both board members have been invaluable assets to the town and provide great input regarding recreational amenities within the town of Nashville. So we are requesting that the council reappoint both Barbie Cruz and Mary Richardson for a 2-year term ending December 31st of 2027.
And Barbara, I'd like to say thank you for willing to serve another term. We appreciate it so very much. At this time, do I hear a recommendation to approve reappointment of Barbara Cruz and Mary Richardson to the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Resources Advisory Board?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
The next
Thank you,
item
Mary.
is the Church Street parking lot.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This evening, I promise you won't hold you long since it's been a very long meeting, so we'll please right through both of these on the docket. This evening, the Church Street parking lot that the town bought beside Mr. Hamlin's property in the PNC Bank at our last downtown advisory board meeting on the 28th of October. The board did make a motion to make a recommendation to the town council to use $5,000 of MSD funding to grab up to half of that parking lot. And the halfway mark we thought would be right where the tree starts at. So if you look at Mr. Rick Hamlin's attorney office right there, you'll see there's a fence about right there. There's a tree. That will be the cutoff portion. We have already received 3 bids from 3 different companies. We already have the person lined up who had the lowest bid, Mr. Colley. Al just said give him about 3 weeks and he can have everything done off, and then our guys can come in, lay it, and lay exactly to what our specifications of for the parking lot. The MSD board did say that evening that they wanted us to look at the sidewalk and driveway, but of course we'll be letting the MSD board know that they'll be taking care of the sidewalk repair that the town council and the MSD agreed together to do. So we would like for the council to make a recommendation to use $5,000 appropriate fund for the MSD fund to pay for the crushed gravel to go in this parking lot and gravel it.
Do I hear a recommendation that we allow them to spend the $5,000 to gravel the parking lot?
Mayor, if I may, I just have one question.
Yes.
What is the plan for the entirety of the lot? Is it to eventually gravel the whole thing, or?
We talked about that during the MSD meeting, and as I told our board member Cindy Cypher, the way that property inclines up so much, it's going to be hard to gravel it off to make it leveled out. The board did talk about maybe seeing if we could get some easement access through the back end property to put some steps up there. So you come off the gravel, walk in the grassy area, go up the steps, and then you'll be in the back part, back there behind the Hadaway's property. They did talk about that, but it's something we said maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, we can work with maybe the Hadaways and 2 other people that own property better to see if we can get some access to have steps to go in that way. But
I just want to make sure we're not going to have to remove the gravel that we're putting down, but we'll have enough of a buffer area that
Yes.
we'll be able to do the terrace or
This is
whatever
a
it is.
short-term fix.
Right. And what we're going to try to encourage is you park right there in that area, and then you take the sidewalk, walk the sidewalk up, either by Parks and Recs or either by the PNC Bank to get to the main street of downtown.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
Yes, ma'am.
So do I hear a motion to accept the Downtown Strong 5,000 recommendation to spend $5,000 for the gravel?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
The next item is nuisance abatement. Sean?
Mayor and Council, once again, our code enforcement officer, Ms. Thomasine Jones, has been working diligently on keeping the properties in the town clean with areas. We have come across 2 that we need to come to council due to the items there. It's kind of over that threshold where we mainly go in and clean it up. We kind of want to have an ordinance by council to clean this one up. Those properties are 702 West Railroad, 716 Clark Street. Of course, if you look in your packet, we give you the definition in the ordinance of section 3216, accumulation of the town's code. Ms. Jones has sent out a letter to these properties back on October the 13th. The violation she observed was accumulation of trash and junk. Trash dump near the side and rear woods, building material, indoor furniture store. She asked them to have this done by October 23rd. They did not get this done in the required time. She gave them more time, kept working with them diligently, hoping that the tenants or property owner would clean the property. They did not do it, so this is why this has been brought before you. We would have had it to you in November, but the way the meeting schedule came in, it kind of came off, so that's why it's in December. Same thing with 716 Clark Street. October 24th, when she sent out the letter, violations were the same as the previous one. Compliance was November the 3rd. She did work with them after it to see if they would get it clean. They did not get it clean. We have sent our town vendor out there, Mr. Horn Landscaping. He's given us a bid for $450 to remove and clean the abatement. at 702 Railroad and 350 for 716 Clark Street. Of course, Ms. Jones, before Mr. Horn goes out there, she will make one final pitch effort to the property owners to ask them to get it clean, because the council has voted on the ordinance to have our vendor go out and service the property and remove all the abatement, all the code enforcement violations for abatement purposes.
Thank you, Sean. So the first one we need to, you approve ordinance 2025-31 and ordinance 2025-32 to have the town's vendor, Home Landscaping, to abate the junk nuisance on 702 Railroad Street and 716 Clark Street. Do I hear a motion?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
And we're going to put a lien on those when we do that.
Yes, sir, Councilman Love. If we do get Mr. Horn to go out and abate the nuisances, as soon as Mr. Horn submits his bill, the next day, as soon as he submits, we get tax collector Mr. Beck Hinton to add a lien to the property.
Let them get one more courtesy call, because I rode by there the day before it got dark, just to look at it. It does look like a terrible mess. And just because the one on Railroad Street is on a dead end,
Right.
almost a dead end corner.
Yes, sir.
I guess they think nobody's gonna see it, but it's still terrible back in that corner.
It is, and she will reach out tomorrow to let them know if council votes to approve both of them for our vendor to go out, that it has been approved by council, and get a timeline of when he can get there, him and his company, and let them know that if you don't have it done by this day when he shows up,
Yeah.
he will have to do the job.
What's the 600 Lakeview Drive that you got on your, on the bill from Horns?
Yes, sir. That is another one that did not make it on this council meeting. That one has a lot of metal material in the back. We told Mr. Horn, she's already sent out letters for that one, have it cleaned up 3 different times. We told Mr. Horn to go ahead and give us a quote on this one. So if we do have to bring it to council in January, we already got it, so he doesn't have to come back out. Because he's traveling in from Wilson to do this work, to kind of save him a little bit of time, having to keep coming back up and give us
Come in and do
quotes.
them all at the same time.
Yes, sir. But that one should be coming to the council in January, pending the budget allows that one.
All right.
Is that everything?
We need a motion on 2025-31.
Okay, do I hear a motion on the ordinance 2025-32 to have the town's vendor, Horn Landscaping, to abate the junk nuisance at these 2 properties?
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
Thank you kindly. At this time, do I hear a motion that we go into closed session?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor to review some minutes, basically.
Aye.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. What, I need a second.